Hi everyone, welcome to Land Navigation. We're going to start by giving you a brief introduction to maps and topographic maps, and then we're going to talk about map scales. Topographical mapping started back around the late 1880s and has continued on. The United States Geological Survey has been mapping the country since that time. And in around the year 2010, they decided to remap the entire United States. And they did that with 7.5 minute quadrangle maps with a scale of 1 to 24,000. So each map covers a four-sided area of 7.5 minutes of latitude and 7.5 minutes of longitude. What does that really mean to us? So what that means is that it is approximately 8 miles north-south and 6 miles east-west. And that map, that paper map, would actually be about 28 inches long by 21 inches wide. So the United States Geological Survey completed this most recent map project in about 2016. They were able to map all of the contiguous states plus Hawaii. They also have started mapping Alaska. Alaska has a very large area that is uninhabitable and is a much different project. And they're actually doing that using a larger map scale of 1 to 100,000. You can get USGS maps from their website. I have that on this slide right here. You can order printed maps through the mail, or you can download them. I Googled where else to get them from, and one of the sites that came up is called Land Matters, and there's that email address. There are also lots of other places where you can download free topographical maps, or you can subscribe to some services and pay for them. So we've been talking about this map scale. The one I introduced you to is 1 to 24,000. We typically call it 1 to 24. And that ratio or fraction is simply the ratio of the map distance to the ground distance. So for a 1 to 24 inch map, that means 1 inch measured on the map represents 24,000 inches in the field or out on the ground. Well, 24,000 inches is equal to 2,000 feet or 667 yards. Most topo maps, which this is a bottom part of a topo map here down at the bottom, will have someplace the map scale. And if you look carefully at this map, you can see over on the left-hand side the scale, and it gives it as 1 inch equals 2,000 feet. So with the information I've already given you, you know that this is a 1 to 24,000 map. So I want to go into a little bit more detail on map scales. I mentioned that Alaska was being mapped in a 1 to 100,000 scale, or 1 to 100. So here is an example of Mount Rainier in a 1 to 100 scale map. In 1 to 100, 1 inch is approximately 1.6 miles to the ground. And here's the peak of Mount Rainier right up here at the top. All these blue squiggly lines here are called contour lines. We'll be talking more about them in upcoming slides. Now down in the center, we have a 1 to 250 scale map for Mount Rainier, and 1 inch on this map is equal to 4.0 miles. So you can see on this map that you get a lot larger area to view, but lot less detail. So this blue in here are the contour lines. Right here, this brown area is the same as a Willie up here on this 1 to 100. And then over here to the top left is a 1 to 24,000 map. And remember, this is a 1 inch on the map is equal to 2,000 feet on the ground. Here now we see Mount Rainier, the peak, much more clearly, and it's much easier to distinguish these contour lines. So with a 1 to 24 map, you get a much smaller area, but much more detail about terrain. So in our next video or screencast, we're going to be talking more about map symbols. See you then.